Hey, what's going on, everybody? Goofy Rexy here. Hope everybody is doing well. Today, we're going to do something fun. We're going to talk about the most valuable characters in Marvel Strike Force here. But the caveat is that we're going to be excluding Horsemen characters, Horsemen legendary characters, and we're also going to exclude any character that you need on a strike team to unlock Apocalypse. So that's Spider Weaver, Kestrel, Deathpool. We're not going to be talking about those characters. So who is left outside of that group? Who are the most valuable characters here in Marvel Strike Force? We're going to be talking about that here in this video. Now, this is going to be in no particular order, but starting off right at the top here, the first character is going to be Omega Red. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely still using Omega Red quite often. I use him in Cosmic Crucible, which is a very important game mode, right? There's a few different counters that he can be used against. A lot of the times I use them against a Gamma counter, because the Gamma team counter, if they leave them on defense. Not seeing a lot of Gamma teams on defense anymore because players are using them now against Unlimited X-Men for Cosmic Crucible. Whenever I do see a Gamma team there, he definitely still is a valuable option to use alongside another character that will be on this list. But even apart from that, still very usable in Alliance War with his team, or even without his team, you can still find value there for Omega Red as a plug and play character. Also, I know a lot of players are still using this character in Dark Dimension, although that's gonna be a little bit straining on your resources because Archangel now is there and then Rogue is there, but I know that he still provides a good amount of value. That ability block and trauma with the special, the flipping all positive effects with the ultimate ability, and then also applying ability block to the primary target, the health steal that you get from each individual attack that he does. A lot of really good value here for Omega Red, so definitely he earns his spot here as one of the most valuable characters on this list. It may have even gained it even with that legendary Horseman group too, if we were still including them as well. All right, next on this list here for me is going to be Dr. Doom. Now, I don't think this is a character that players should bring to Gear Tier 16 anymore. I did this a while back, right before we had really good global characters and before we knew about the Mystic Crunch for Apocalypse and all that. Like, we did this a while ago here, but I still find I'm still using Dr. Doom on a day-by-day basis, whether it's Cosmic Crucible, of course, Alliance War as a plug-and-play character. Still an insane amount of value because, of course, being able to do that ultimate pop off with all those bots, do an insane amount of damage. You know, if you team him up with somebody else that does really good damage as well, you know, then of course, you know, he's going to call them to do three attacks also by giving them that speed bar fill. So a lot of really good value that you can get from Dr. Doom here. I'm running them as a Raider a lot now because I'm using them in Cosmic Crucible, whether against Gamma teams or against some other teams that are there. I do find that there is some value that I can get from good value from Dr. Doom as a plug and play character. Like I said, not a character that you're probably going to want to bring up to Gear Tier 16 anymore. Gear Tier 15 is probably going to be that cap on it, but definitely still, because of that raw outright damage, you're still going to find good value here for Dr. Doom. All right, next on this list, more valuable in my opinion, is going to be Dormammu. I had somebody ask me the question the other day, which is very warranted, right? Because there's so much gear that you're gonna need to use on other characters. I did have somebody ask me the other day, I just finished Dark Dimension 5. Should I still invest into Dormammu? Forgive me if you're hearing my son singing in the background here. He's having a good time, right? It's good, right? But Dormammu is still good, right? I mean, from top to bottom, all of his kit is still very valuable. With his passive, whenever he has those charges, he's going to be able to flip. Whenever an enemy takes a turn, he's going to flip their positive effect. You know, his ultimate ability does an insane amount of damage, also applying debuffs as well. It's also an unavoidable attack. So if you're looking at in the arena meta, you're also going to get an insane amount of value there. But that's the thing too, like he's using so many in game modes. Like there's arena, there's Cosmic Crucible, there's Alliance War, there's raids, right? Like he's using so many different areas of the game. He definitely still packs a wallop here. The stun and the trauma, the damage flipping positive effects. I mean, the fact that he can cause your team to get the revive once mechanic. I mean, the value within itself is there. I don't need to go too deep into explaining the reason why, but yeah, definitely you're gonna want to invest into this character. Still, I would say Gear Tier 16 worthy, if you ask me. All right, next on this list here is another Mystic character, but it is Hela, and Hela definitely holds value. A lot of characters that are used in arena meta, right, are gonna hold value are probably going to be on this list. Ella definitely shows up as a character that's on this list for me here. She's used in the arena meta right now. She's also used in Alliance War. She can also be used in Cosmic Crucible. An insane amount of value that you can get from this character. I love her ultimate ability, especially in arena, because if I can get her to kill a character, then the characters won't be revived with this attack. But what I love most about it too is that, you know, her ultimate ability can also spread ability block. Which is one of the few abilities in the game. Is one of the characters that can spread ability block as well. But there's one of the characters here that can spread ability block from a primary target, because she does spread 4 negative effects from a primary target to all secondary targets as well. So I like you know, what Hela can do here. Her and Greg, of course, Greg with the speed bar mechanics is incredibly useful in the arena meta, especially when going up against other teams that do have Spider Weaver and 2099 and then Emma. Like, you know, being able to have that as the speed bar reduction with Greg is definitely very valuable as well. And she also does do some pretty good things with her other abilities too. So very valuable character here that I think you got to add to this list. All right, next on this list here for me, probably more of a personal selection, so forgive me for that, but I like my man Captain America. I think he's probably one of the better tanks in Marvel Strike Force. I don't know if he's the best tank. I kind of want to put him there as the best tank in Marvel Strike Force. Maybe Absorber Man will have something to say about that, but I like Captain America a lot here. I think that his kit is incredibly valuable because it benefits an entire team, right? Like on spawn, instead of like what Captain America is saying will apply deflect, right, to skill characters, he's applying deflect to self and all allies. With his ultimate ability, you're clearing 3 positive effects. Special abilities, applying immunity and defense up to all allies for 2 turns, right? It's a low cooldown. I think that there's a lot of value that we can get from Captain America. Maybe we haven't figured out exactly how to use this character as of yet, but I feel like there's ways that we probably can theory craft to utilize this kit, because I think that his kit is very valuable. And I've tried him out in Dark Dimension. He's done very well there. Yes, he's going to be primarily a Ray character, but I think there's other areas where we're probably not figuring out yet as to where to use it. Oh, we're seeing more war defense now with the Heroes for Hire team. So if you thought Heroes for Hire were going away, then Captain America is on one of those defensive teams of Heroes for Hire, right? So, you know, he's holding his value there as well. But I think that there's probably more areas where we can find that we can use them. I still need to put some T4s into my man here, but I'm still using the Web Warriors right now for raids because we're only doing 3.3. So at some point in time, we'll get around to putting that on Captain America. But you know me, 1.5 million gold per day. So it takes a little while for me to be able to build up some characters. But enough about me, right? Next character on this list is going to be Emma Frost, and she's probably going to go down as one of the most valuable characters very soon here, because you know we got Apocalypse that's going to be coming in. Apocalypse is going to negate that speed bar reduction that she usually gives to or speed bar reduction that she does to the enemy team here. So she's probably going to fall out of the meta a little bit here, but I still think characters like Spider Weaver and 2099 are probably going to take up that mantle. But you know, one of the reasons why she is valuable is because of this passive, right? Right now in the game, this is very valuable in every single game mode, really, that you have. Maybe not raids, but you know, definitely Alliance War, Cosmic Crucible, Arena. This applying negative 10% speed to all enemies is still very valuable. She used to be one of the higher health in the game back in the time. Now her health has definitely been power crept quite a bit. The ultimate ability here can clear all positive effects from all enemies. I think a lot of people typically tend to forget about this ability because she probably dies so fast now, but she can also mind control 2 enemies or allies with the most damage to attack the primary target. If a primary target is killed, she'll apply blind to the character that has the most speed bar. I can't tell you how many times that has been helpful in Arena for me. Special ability here too. She can, you know, clear all negative effects off of your team. You know, then she'll apply immunity to herself, but then slow to all enemies too. Then she can flip and clear buffs. So, or she can flip 2 positive effects to negative effects. But if she does have the charges, then she can clear 2 positive effects instead. I actually like it when she flips instead of actually having her just clear the 2 positive effects. But I still think just because of that speed, she still holds value there. But that's going to change with Apocalypse and Arena, but I still think that she's going to be able to be used in other game modes like CC, like Alliance War, like she is being used right now. All right, next on this list for me is going to be Squirrel Girl. And now this one is probably another personal pick, so maybe this list might be a little subjective, okay? Forgive me, but I do think that Squirrel Girl holds a lot of value, and I've always said it before, it's because of this special ability here where she's able to heal, you know, all allies for 15%. She has a low cooldown of her max health, 15% there, and then low cooldown with her special. I find that she's been plug and play in CC. She's been plug and play in a lot of these Scourge events too, even if you choose not to use the full Young Avengers team outside of the Rogue Famine Scourge event. She's been usable there, usable plug and play in like the Tower events. I've used her plug, like we talk about Cosmic Crucible just now. There's a lot of different areas where you can use Squirrel Girl. And so if you're looking outside of these legendary Horseman team and characters, you know, Squirrel Girl definitely does hold her value here, from in my personal opinion. Very good health too, so that 50% healing, you know, holds value there also. And then next on this list, I'm actually going to make a little bit of an audible because I can't talk about Spider-Man 2099 and then not include a couple other characters here that I'm thinking about it. So if I'm going to talk about Spider-Man 2099, I have to also include Icarus and Cersei in this, right? They are part of the arena meta. They are very usable in other game modes, like your Cosmic Crucible, like your Alliance War, of course, Arena. Spider-Man 2099, individually, I don't think he's a phenomenal character. He's definitely not a slouch by any means, but really he's there as an additive aid to Spider-Weaver. But Spider-Weaver is actually better when she does have Spider-Man 2099, right? So therefore, he still provides value there. You know, passive ability here, he's given drain to them, he's given drain to Weaver, he's given extra focus to Weaver, given extra resistance, you know, to Weaver as well. He unspawned, he gives Spider-Weaver speed, they gain speed up. He also increases her speed bar right here whenever he does his ultimate abilities. Ultimate ability can clear positive effects, you know, off the enemy. He then applies slow and defense down, which is incredibly helpful if you're using the Eternals, because then you're getting that defense down, which means, of course, forgive me, that Icarus can then pop off a little bit more special attack and apply ability block. The one thing about Spider-Man 2099 is that his health pool is kind of low, right? So it's not, he doesn't survive as well. He is very squishy as a character, but I think he actually has a very useful solid kick. He applies bleeds, you know, on his on his basic ability. His passive, I think, what flips one positive effect to a negative effect, you know, whenever he takes a turn. So I mean, there's a lot of really good value that you can get from 2099, but we also got to talk about Icarus and Cersei, right? Still a phenomenal tandem. Individually, you're not going to use those characters. And same thing with Spider-Man 2099. If I'm going to put Spider-Man 2099 on this list, I also have to put Icarus and Cersei on this list. Individually, you're not going to use those characters, but together as a tandem, they're phenomenal. Spider-Man 2099, you're going to use him by himself, but with Spider-Weaver, he's great, and he provides a lot of value there. So we had to include those characters on this list. I think that's it for me, though, guys. I don't know if there's anybody else that we could talk about that is most valuable. Maybe you could talk about Shang-Chi because of the damage. Maybe Captain America Sam here. Let me know, guys, right? Like, who would you add to this list here that you would find to be valuable? Also, guys, we're going to be having the Death Scourge event. It's going to be going live here tonight. If you haven't figured out your teams yet that you're going to be using for the event, then check out this video right here, which will definitely explain the better teams that are out there. Also, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Hit the notification bell so that you know when the videos go live. If you want to see more content like this, check out our links that are down below to our social media. Also, our Patreon for just $1 a month, guys. Until next time, y'all be blessed, guys. Y'all be safe.